playing the module Curse of Strahd by the Change Transformed, and we're playing in the system and aesthetic of Frostmark RPG, everything created by moi. There's a content warning for tonight of bad language, gothic horror, heavy topics, and perhaps some gore. We shall see. But with me, I have a wonderful cast of players. I got Daphne, I Crave Violence, I'm Malcolm, so you're played by Suko. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, Leonard. I'm being stalked and I don't like it, or half of a duelist played by Pepper. Hello, hello.
I am here.
Yes. Soul of the Vistadi, our tiefling bard, played by the Soul of the Party Hess, is still on vacay, but will be back for next episode. And certainly not least, we got the slightly more stable and reasonable Styrax, a tiefling elementalist, played by Neo. Hi! Oh, awesome. What happened last time, gang?
Let's do it. I can do it.
Ooh.
Yeah, we started off like we just came from our death back, and we were out and about wanting to go back to Kresk, but then we really nearby saw like a flash of light and the sound of a lightning bolt, and yeah, that was too much of a pull for the party, so they abandoned the idea to bring Nyanka and Milivoy back to Kresk for now, and followed that sound that was nearby, trying to track down what we assumed was the old master of Styrax going mad, and that is what we found. Also, a very hurt, mad, somewhat person that seemed to have not quite remember Styrax in this current state, and Styrax and Daphne tried their best to get him to calm down, but there's a lot of stuff he talks about and weird messages throws about, and he talks about having to put his books back in order, and these kinds of things, and he then said like this things is too heavy on him and stuff like that as the conversation continues, and Dol and Leo approach further to also see what's going on, and he puts out whatever he's holding in an extra dimension, or however he was holding it, pulls something out that creates this portal like void like structure that appears, and says that talks about hiding, and everyone goes into hiding for a bit, and until it seems like no one is coming, nothing is happening. He's definitely like afraid of, he's talking about how he's afraid of like bats and wolves and all these kinds of things. And after a few minutes, we approach again, or Styrax does, and it gets clear that this won't be open for ever, and it might be the last time in the wild that he can open it. And he talks about needing to put things in order past this portal, and obviously Styrax wants to help, and obviously the group wants to help, but they're in for a bit of a dilemma because they want to bring back Milivoy and Nyanka.
Yeah.
But it's
with the wolf escort.
yeah, with a wolf escort, which luckily he didn't notice. And it ends up that Leo, being invisible, was already there, but Sol was the only one that was staying back still, not wanting to, scare the mentor. And when we talked about wanting to enter, definitely asked Soul to come and join. But he wouldn't. He realized that he doesn't feel like this is the right thing to do, and he felt it's important to bring those two back and safe, and it's the only reason we came out here in the first place. So he decided to help them get back to Kresk, and not really the rest of the team, not necessarily knowing, entered the portal with our new friend now, apparently. And just moments later, the portal closed, leaving us somewhere in his brain, maybe? Who knows?
Indeed, we shall see. Thank you so much. Let's get into it, shall we? The journey through the portal is quick, slightly tingly, and a little bit cold. But within a second, one after the other, you stumble into a brightly lit chamber clad in stone. From whence you came is a swirling blue portal. And what you're greeted by is dwarven runes on decorative tiles, dwarven statues, as well as copperbeard banners and tapestries, which all of you easily recognize. A door opens on its own accord, further into the chamber, spilling blue light into the room. A voice floats from the darkness and that blue light into the room, saying, "So you finally decided to face me. I have waited for a long, long time." Panic sets into the eyes of the dwarf beside you, making him fret and sweat. At the same time, the light sources flicker and become dimmer. What was once a quite welcoming atmosphere now turns a tad bit more disturbing. The temperature drops, the light sources around you seem to fight to remain alit, and in the corners of the room, farthest away from you, reality seemed to twist and contort, like it's forgetting its original shape and purpose. The portal behind you flicker a few times between activated and deactivated, and in the end, it settles on the off switch, as there is now only a sheer marble wall where these spinning magical energies used to be. You certainly don't feel at ease here, nor do you feel alone. The atmosphere seems oppressive and somehow alive and chaotic all at the same time. One thing is for sure: you don't feel like you're in control. You feel like you're merely guests, trapped in somebody else's tragic play. Sarx, your eyes widen in sudden realization. This is Master Irius' magnificent mansion spell that you have enjoyed the luxuries of in the past, but it's wrong, disorganized, dark, gloomy, cold. You don't recognize this layout. What do you like to do?
Leo is still invisible, by the way.
Oh.
Lasts for an hour,
Okay.
technically.
As you can see that she's slowly walking, just looking pretty much with wide eyes, like everything, and you can see that in her face that this doesn't seem right at all. This is not what she used to see, but doesn't say a
No.
word.
What did we get ourselves into here? Syrinx?
This is his spell. Is not so far looks that it's not under his control.
I'll look over to Arius. Does he seem like responsive in any form, or?
I mean, he's definitely responding. Mostly
Yeah, like
with.
is he like in shock, or is
Yes, he's very much in shock. He's looking around with like big saucers for eyes, and he's like hesitating up there on the steps, not following you down into the room proper. He's like, are you sure this is the right thing to do? This is dangerous, very dangerous. But I don't see a way out anymore.
portal is closed? I think at this point, there's no use in trying to run. Also, do you mind explaining maybe that voice? Do you know who that is? What we're
Of course,
dealing with here?
No,
question: Do I recognize the voice?
no, you don't.
Okay.
It was a very like neutral voice, echoed, and it was almost like several voices speaking at once into this. It was very clear, but very unclear of an identity.
Okay. Starax, after grabbing some composure herself, will just turn around and put her hand on Ariel's shoulder and just say, "It's gonna be fine, and though it's the only thing we have now."
If you say so, I don't know what that voice is. I don't know where to go.
In that case, we'll get to know that together.
The key has been opened. The door's been opened. Everything is in disarray. I don't know.
Okay, Sol, I think you can let the invisibility go off now. Sol? Oh,
Hmm. Did he end up not joining us?
I guess. You said something. Wanted him to not come rain.
That was mostly his choice, just like you.
I guess. Oh well.
And now we
Irius kind of jumps a little bit, hearing like air talk. Oh, Spectre, Vox Memo, who's there?
This
Still me.
you for sure know him. Is the famous Leo.
They were not Joseph Kywin. Surely. If there's something that will jog your memory, it's my name.
No, should I?
Oh, I think
Is this
there's nothing to be
normal?
done here with the memories.
Would you voices speaking out of nothing? You are peculiar.
No, it's an invisibility spell. It's invisible, but doesn't come from thin air. Don't worry.
Magic,
He's a
yes.
friend.
Yes. I have abilities. Out of my hands, pure lightning comes. I don't know how. I just know. The same? Is it the same?
Yes.
Just heads up. Let's make sure to not point it at us, okay? We don't need to be lightninged by anything, okay? So just like enemies. Okay?
I will try. I don't feel totally in control here. I don't know. I try to grasp it, but it just runs through my fingers like sand. Again, are you sure about this? Do you really want to do this? I don't want to hurt. I don't want you dead. Not on my conscience. No.
I didn't came all the way from the copper beer to just not bring you back.
Also, I still don't know where we're supposed to go. The door's closed, so
Oh, it is. Oh, there we go. Now. It was always open.
the portal backwards is closed now. So I think we're here now, and hopefully for the better.
Styrax will offer her hand to Aereus and just come. Let's get everything in order together.
He hesitates, but then grabs your hand, is kind of squeezing it tight, and it almost like you feel like you're guiding like a toddler or a child forward. We're scared.
Haha, I see the rules in verse. Huh?
Yeah.
And we'll just like slowly start walking all around, mostly paying attention to all her surroundings.
Suku, you haven't muted yourself. You just haven't been talking. Just checking in. Awesome.
Daphne has just been like, just silently watching. But no, I haven't been muting myself. I'm just silent.
Just gonna be sure. Okay.
So
Lurking.
Let's get on to the only place we can, it seems.
Do you know this place? Said you know the spell or something?
I kinda know this place, but it's not the same, and I'm scared that it might have changed all I know. So, better if we go with I don't know what is up there.
Well, the mess up with probably everyone. And I suppose the loss against the Countess was a big impact on your mentor.
Mental health.
Haha, very funny.
Huh. Sarah,
Yes?
might want to look at that. Seems
Do we
like
know what we're doing here? We're looking
something that
for?
I don't want to touch.
First, trying to first know what is that thing that talked to us. I don't recognize it at all.
It's hypnotizing, a dazzling display of arcane light, of arcane magic. A glowing and twisting bubble of blue light on top of a magic circle written in Coptic runes. In contrast, there's also 4 static bright beams of more of that blue-looking magic attaching to 4 points in the corners of these stone walls. Each of these beams attaches to 4 nodes of brilliant light glowing in different colors. one of bright orange, one of deep green, one of warm red, and the last of dark blue. And as areas enter into the room, suddenly there's movement, and all of you freeze in place. You thought that the arcane bubble were done surprising you, but that was clearly wrong. It is not empty. There is some kind of wispy black smoke that dances within haphazardly with itself. But then it solidifies, gathering itself into a vague and small humanoid shape. That same voice echoes again. Well, well, well. Look at you. Is there a more pathetic sight? Irius freezes in your grip, Cyrex. His hand becoming clammy, and he's staring wide-eyed at the arcane bubble and the black humanoid shape within. And at the same time, the lights around you starts to flicker like before, dimming further. They can't seem to fight off completely the oppression of the darkness around. Something is terribly wrong. Something sinister in the air. Your head starts to hurt a little bit. The voice continues. Yeah, that's right. How stupid can you be? Thinking you were ready for this, ready for me. The world dims further, and you can swear that the details around you starts to become fuzzy, lose sharpness, as if you were extremely dizzy when gazing at your surroundings. The headache intensifies. You will never be ready. You don't have it in you. You're just a sad, scared failure of a man that should just go and be forgotten in a ditch. Now, large sections of the wall starts to droop and bend, your whole environment turning into an abstract painting, all the while a blinding headache pulsating through your skull. You can't almost think or feel or walk, you're just bending over in pain. You feel like you're going to be eaten up and have your head split asunder. As shape, texture, detail, everything starts to break down. The voice is snickering at this point. As you're about to be swallowed whole and buried by this mind-boggling twisting of the world around you. Once your head is feeling like it's going to explode from the pressure, everything freezes in place. And the headache disappears from one fraction of a second to the other. And the voice goes, this won't do. This is too easy to defeat you this way. And you don't deserve the easy way out. No, I want you to suffer. That is what you deserve. So let's start this over. And if you somehow struggle your way back to me, to face me, I can prove to you more thoroughly, the second time over, of how thoroughly worthless you are. Find me again when you think you can handle even a fraction of the full scope of your total failure. A sudden flash of black, senses overwhelmed by rapid changes. Ice cold rain. Impacting from above. A gasp later, and a second to take in your bearings, you realize that your surroundings have changed. A dark world with heavy, heavy, cold rain. Anywhere else than in front of you, there is nothing to be seen. Your dark vision failing you, there's only a black abyss, but for the structure ahead. A grand wooden mansion which have seen better days, with soft light pooling out of the windows, beckoning you forward. Stone lions crying blood flank a wrought iron gate guarding its entrance. They're oddly misshapen, but not to the point that you cannot recognize them for what they are. An ominous statue of a hooded warrior can be hinted beyond on a dead and black grassy lawn. Then white wooden stairs, slick from the pouring rain, lead up to a spacious porch. Dim light shines through within a foyer through glass double doors. And as your gaze travels upward, there's a shadowed humanoid figure in one of the glass windows on the second story, looking down on you all. But then, as lightning flashes, the figure is gone, and the dwarf by your side jumps in fear, hyperventilating. What do you want to do?
I think it's gonna take Leo a moment to gather himself. Okay.
What's going on? We need to find a way out of here. This is not safe. Not anymore.
You can just see Styrax just going in like the expression of thinking, and even bringing like the typical thinking expression of having the mouth in front of your mouth.
Do any of you guys remember what place this is? Styrax, are you familiar with this place?
And Styrax looking at the building is it the... Do I recognize the place?
Yes and no. This is definitely taken from the grand, warm, luxurious mansion that was Iria's magnificent mansion spell. But there are several points that are different, or objects have been placed in other places, and the layout is completely new to you. But there's still like this echo of what you used to experience, but twisted into this gloomy and unrecognizable new shape.
And Styrax relays the information to the party and just finishes with, pretty much it's the same, but it's not.
Okay, and we have to find that voice again in this mansion, I suppose. And then I guess defeat it. Do you guys like got that weird vibe of, like, it sounded like it was not like intended like hatred or something. It was more like you're not worth anything and stuff like that. So it's a weird sentiment, I guess, that I'm trying to get over. Like,
For me, and especially if this is your mentor's spell, it sounds more internal than external, if you get what I'm saying.
yeah.
Is it something that was created by by him, you think?
I've done
Maybe.
this? No, no. How could I? I wouldn't make this. This is scary. Why would I?
Right now it's scary, but it used to be a safe place when time before. And I think you can manage to break free and try to gain control of this and get the upper hand.
Yeah, I think this might have been. I'm not sure how much he personally created that voice and how much was part of, I guess, basically dying and the mist and all that kind of stuff.
We also don't know what happened. If he actually was the one to survive the temple, we don't know what came out of that temple.
Yeah, well, I think from the description here, now that I see Arius, probably was Razius that came out the temple. I think Arius. It was just a battle with the Countess, which that's enough. I think.
I
I
mean,
yeah
Razius definitely was in the temple, that's for sure.
yeah. Talking about like a tall blonde person, I don't know. Maybe it was something completely different.
Because he warned me about the thing that was in the temple.
Yeah. I might have given you guys the wrong idea earlier when I thought about it.
Well,
Anyway,
whatever it is, yep, we are stuck here until we deal with that thing, so.
yeah, so I guess Dyrex, you try and get Aria's self-esteem up, and then we'll be out here in no time, right? And I'll like go towards the gate and see if it opens.
It does, but it's certainly not been oiled, and it's this very sharp shrill. But it does open.
Good. Seems like we're welcome.
Styrax will actually turn to Ireo and just like let's going down to her height, to her height. And will actually take out her spells book. While giving it to Ireo's Woundade. I know that the one who trained me can control that thing. You are that person, and I know you're still there.
I don't know what you're expecting of me. I don't like it. There's only disappointment ahead, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I guess. I mean, that's maybe your physical thing of disappointment in you that might be ahead. Yes, but prove them wrong, I guess.
I'm just saying, don't expect too much. Everything is in disarray, the bookshelf.
And we will get it in order. But for that, we actually need your help.
I can't do anything but run and hurt everything that comes close to me. That's all that's left. All that I am.
Well, not with that attitude.
You can clearly see into the foyer through this glass door. Up close here, you can easily spot how the wooden facade is chipped, worn, and discolored. Some panes of glass in the front doors are broken, whereas the rest are dirty and dusty. The door handle is of oxidized copper, and as you reach out for it, Daphne, this one glass door swings open on its own accord with another horrible screeching noise. Clearly, the hinges are on the verge of breaking down as it slowly wobbles open, and beyond there's a dusty, somewhat cracked, checkered flooring with 2 more hooded warrior statues flanking a set of metal double doors just ahead.
So, Dyrix, do you know what like books he's talking about? Is that something that wasn't in the old mansion?
Was there something like a library?
Yeah, for sure. Arias is or was a very academic person. There was definitely a library.
Perhaps the library, but we need to find it with the new layout.
Yeah, you'll know it when you see it, right?
Styrax nods.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, just hoping that if we get these books in order that, Arias might, not, maybe change, maybe get a bit better in his head, I don't know.
Maybe. Styrax will get up and again offer her hand to a raven. Don't be scared.
We
He
can only hope.
takes it again, as worried.
Start moving.
I don't.
I'm invisible right now. Should I try to go through the door?
Just to have it a little bit easier, can you give me control of the Ivory's token? So I move
Yes,
both of them.
yes, for sure.
Maybe I should just try to open the door. And I'll invisibly move to the door and try to open it.
Alright. There are some details that you see here in the hallway when you step into it, but do you ignore them and just go for the door?
I guess not. I thought we already made our perception, but I guess I'll make a perception check. Look
Well,
around.
what you do immediately see is more signs of decay in the structure itself. Water damage, termites, splinters, crackling, and past that you see 5 coat racks here along the walls and shoe racks on the floor underneath them. But there's no item of clothing left here, nor any shoes. Along with them, there is a name plaque for each of these coat hangers. You read out Joseph Shaw, Aurora Waterfelt, Cyril Elawin, and Kyther Neplech. The last one is highly corroded and meticulously scratched out, but you can see the first 3 letters of the name, an I, an R, and an E.
Let me see. That makes sense.
And Cyrex, as your eyes sweep over them, you do recognize them.
It's
Intimately.
the party that we came with here.
It's the usual group that he traveled with, and the group he went inside the nest.
Let me see. Cool. So, how dangerous do we think this is going to be? Should I just walk up to the door, or do you magic people want to do something?
Knowing this is a spell, probably detect magic will just be a mess. problem to fear. Though I can try, but just give me a moment. And Starbucks
Right.
will actually go a step one moment outside
Uh
and cast detect magic without the ritual. So
Okay, just instantly. Well, the space is, of course, heavy with the orange color of conjuration. But there is bleeding into that conjuration, kinda in tandem with them, like oil stains almost, is this black taint. And there's no magic so far that you have experienced being black in color. There's definitely something strange going on, mingling in with the conjuration of the Magnificent Mansion.
yeah, really didn't help with the detect magic. Of course, it's the typical observation aura, but then there's an aura that I don't even knew it existed.
Cool.
So it's getting out of my field of knowledge.
Okay, let's. I guess I'll just try to do it. Maybe you guys just take a step back, and I'll try to approach the door. See if anything's happening.
One step back.
One step forward. No, there's a bit of resistance, but the door indeed yields to your touch.
Here we go. Yep.
Let me do this. Leo, your footsteps echo sharply on the cold stone floor as you take in this ostentatious main hall sprawling before you. A faded carpet guides your steps and gaze towards a grand staircase that would deliver you to the second floor and onto an upper balcony that runs around this room. Two suits of armor flank the beginning of the staircase. On their chest plates, an engraving of a windmill on top of a hill are proudly presented. Drawing your eyes is a massive painting on the first staircase landing, depicting grassy hills beside a dark and bushy forest. There seems to be more details there, but you have to approach closer to take them all in. Directly on your right-hand side, intricate wooden archways lead into what seems to be a parlor of some sort.
Alright, seems fine for now. Grand hall.
Beside the archway, underneath the right side of the staircase, and mirrored on the left side as well, there's also two wooden doors. There's also a similar wooden door directly to your left. The space is filled with dead and oddly discolored plants, flickering light from candles shining too dimly than what they should, and a swollen silence, only broken by the smattering of rain outside, the creaking of the house, and a weird chirping noise coming from that parlor to your right.
Yes, Tyrix, is there any way that it would make sense to look for things that are something you don't remember? Like, I assume part of what you see here is something you remember, right? I assume It was a great hall like this, maybe? Somewhat?
Let me take a look, and Starbucks slowly, with with and behind the roses following slowly. Starbucks starts looking at what is different from the original one.
Indeed, there was a grand main hall, kind of like this, with the staircase leading up in, this rather, Arius comes from noble backgrounds, so it's kind of what he's used to, with the balcony around it. But all of these spaces leading off in different directions, the doors are not where they should be, nor is that parlor where it should be, and it doesn't look exactly the same as you remember it to be. It seems that even if you visited a similar place, that won't help you. Not here, not now.
And the painting? Does Cyrus remember the painting, or is that...
No, it's also new. So are the suits of armor as well.
Totally different. Is same but not the same. Really can't tell the difference.
Okay. So we have strange noise coming from the parlor. And a bunch of doors. Could try and go like what there used to be direction towards the library, but I don't think that makes any sense, so
That probably will get us even worse.
yeah, so does anyone have like a coin or a die? Because I'm not sure how we're gonna decide where to go. Daphne, what does your gut say? Parlor? Or like up the stairs? Any other doors? Bad timing. I guess sirens. That's your gut say.
At this point, I don't know. You can just see Starbucks that it's actually not really focused, per se. It's like also paying attention to areas more than the surroundings.
I know vision. I think. Might have been my bad. Because I think I moved my other token and I've been put token in. So, thank you.
I don't know why I can't move the tokens.
Okay, but what is the noise that we're hearing exactly? Can I make like some sort of better identifying of it? Bexxy?
Bexxy?
Sorry. I've been speaking this the whole time, and then it seems like the door frame sometimes can make it hard to grab your token. Make me survival intelligence to try to figure out what the sound is.
Oh, yes. Sure, I shall do that.
Have a guidance.
Ooh! Look at me, it's a new me.
Ooh, what the heck?
Even with guidance 3?
Definitely a very useless role, I'm sure.
Look at you,
Yeah.
climbing up the rank.
Yep.
You definitely recognize the sound coming from the from a bird, from specifically from the crow family.
Okay. Pro family. You see.
Indeed.
I'll relay that, I guess. Yeah, sounds like that the Crow family, kind of. That sounds like the way to go, I suppose, in a way. Crows are never bad, right?
Depends on who you ask.
Well, if you're asking me, I guess.
But I would suggest to try to see almost everything and see if we can manage to see some information of what we are up against.
I have no idea. I don't recognize this place. I will follow you. You seem to know what to do.
What with Barovia and Cursed Mansion? This whole mission started with a Cursed Mansion too.
This is my first cursed mention, so.
Uh.
Sure.
What?
If it was not for the strange, mutated bird-like creature in the cage, chirping away at random times, the space could have been rather cozy. Two worn armchairs face a stone fireplace. A chaotic bookshelf stands behind a leather sofa and an armchair of the same fashion. Both of them are somewhat chewed out, full of small incisions, which reveals the whitish stuffing within. There are two tables also before you, one with a tray with a canister and a mug, as well as books and scattered papers on the ground underneath it. The other is of an odd shape with an ashtray and a pipe rack with two pipes in it. All in all, this space seems like it's been lived in often.
Hello, bird. Did Ireus have like a bird as a like pet or something? Or is this new?
As you say hello to the bird, Leo, it chirps away, moves his head to the side to take you in with its numerous black eyes. Even though it looks like a twisted monster, it sure acts innocently. And you spot there is some kind of plaque on the bottom of the bird cage with something written on it.
What is written on it?
As you're moving closer, you can read the word scree.
Gree.
And as you say that aloud, Cyrex, you remember that not that long ago, well, before Arius left, you found a hurt raven that the group together nursed back to health, that Joseph named Scree.
It actually, and of course the form is like a monster and don't recognize it at all, right?
It's definitely different. It didn't look like that.
Oh, what did they do to you, Scree? And Starbucks will get closer and see if actually he reacts to Styrax?
Hmm?
Like Styrax will get closer to see if Scree reacts to her.
It kind of does the same. It squeeze at you, shrieks, and moves his head to side to take you in with all of that myriad of black eyes. And as Arius moves closer with you, I'm gonna do a secret check. The scream starts to chirp louder, and then louder, and then louder as Arius approaches. And it makes you stop. It makes you freeze. Instinctively, you move up your hands to clutch over your ears to protect them, and you are able to protect yourself from some of the sharpness of the sound, but it's so loud that you can still clearly hear what it sounds like, as the nature of the sound changed from that of a bird to clearly be a woman screaming. A woman that you clearly recognize, Styrax, screaming in pain and for help. Soon that scream dies in the bird's throat, as it seems like Styrax screams to the point where she loses her voice, and then in a soft, hoarse whisper, Styrax's voice says to not leave her alone or leave her behind. The bird goes silent, and it falls over dead to the bottom of the cage. A soft thump as it cracks its skull open on the metal floor, and a black, tar-like liquid oozes out of the bird in a small puddle.
You can see that Starbucks actually just froze.
Huh.
Well, not as helpful a bird as I hoped.
That was your voice. I don't understand what's happening. This is some kind of bad omen for the future. This is not good. This is not good. I don't like this. I don't like this. He just takes a step back. Clearly, he's getting worse.
Starbucks kind of regains her composure and just turns to Arius and again goes down and puts her hands on his shoulders. And it's like, okay, I'm more calm. That is true. That was my voice. And that bird screamed. I took him with me and bring it here. And you, together with Joseph and the rest, we took care of him. This might be related on what is happening, and maybe can help you recover what you remember. Did that voice sound familiar to you, apart from being mine?
No, I don't know. I've just met you today. I don't know what's going on. I don't like this.
I know it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna stay here with you and I'm not going anywhere. But as you tell me multiple times, there's only one way forward. And we have to endure.
Make me an empathy manipulation.
Eesh, a 9.
Oof.
Fine.
Irius nods rapidly, but you can see in his eyes that he doesn't believe you.
There a door here? Deeper in?
Yeah, there is a door there.
I think I'll have to look around here for a moment.
Mhm.
There's some books, but I don't assume that Javier is gonna speak up about this being the place with the books. So I'm going to go to the next door there and just listen in, I guess, first.
There is a sound beyond the door. It sounds like a very soft, slightly distorted sound of a dinner party.
Dinner party.
Mhm.
Gotta explain it a bit more. Is it like voices or is it just sounds of like moving
Yeah, muffled
like
sounds
arcs
of,
and...
of people talking softly with each other. And indeed, like the clatter of utensils on plates and glasses.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
why does
Maybe
this sound so familiar?
I wonder.
Not sure if we want to like meet up with participant of these houses, but there seems to be something beyond the door having a hell of a party.
If
Not
my guess is correct, when we open the door, we would see nothing.
okay.
It sounds very similar to the report. If you are
I
asking.
never read that.
Of course you didn't. And Starbucks starts saying that we'll actually go to the shelf and mostly check if all the books are in order and try to see if she remembers any of them.
Yeah, there are definitely books here that you do remember. Some you have actually maybe read a little bit of. Like, this is not really your cup of tea. The books are of fairy tales, collections of songs. There's comedy pieces, slander pieces, comedies. Very, very lighthearted. And you do know that especially Kythor like to frequent these books.
So if you guys seem this to be similar, is there any use in looking what's beyond this door?
Well, I could be wrong.
Okay.
And there could be always hints and clues. Even though if there's no one within the door.
So you suggest going in there?
There's only one way forward, right? You look like
There's
it's
plenty of
Cyrax.
doors. You don't have to go through this door in particular.
Right, but what I mean is we have to explore every nooks and crannies of this mansion.
Right.
If
I
you
guess
are
I'm still
scared,
invisible, so maybe you guys just... If there are actually people in there, then they might just think that a random door randomly opened, and if they don't see you guys...
is the door locked?
No.
Hey, I mean, you can also I'll just chill here. That's fine. And I'll open the door.
Alrighto.
Oh
You
god.
look into what seems to be a dining hall. The once polished herringbone wooden floors are caked with dust and grime. In the center of this room, there's table and chairs, and on that table is a great assortment of various tools, mainly used in cartography, like maps, books, measuring tools, and compasses. Haphazardly among them are bowls of fruit, decanters, and glasses and mugs, some empty, some full, some half empty, with various drinks. And the only visitor in this dining hall is the moonlight peeking through the dusty windows. Indeed,
Well,
the sound goes silent as you open the door.
Seems like you were right. Hello, anyone here?
I will roll a hidden check.
can I make immediately like a perception check to see like?
Sure, pick me a perception
think
challenge if you want to.
I mean, I'm not used to the report stuff, so I think they might be just still here.
14.
No, 9. But hey, that's pretty close to 10. That's good for me.
It's all pretty straightforward. Indeed, these cartography tools on the table. Certainly, whoever had these tools were certainly a pro. Cyrex, you do recognize that cartography was Joseph's side hobby, and he often made maps and studied maps before the team went out on their explorations. And there definitely seems to be some kind of session, preparation session on the table. But all of your attention is quite stolen when suddenly, when Area takes a step into the room, the sound of these voices come back, muffled voices. They're conversing about something, lowered voices and with serious tones. Some of them are feminine, other masculine. And beyond that kind of distorted echo, something clear rises out of it. A serious feminine voices. Master Stormlight, something isn't right with all of this. If they are acting this way, are you sure this is a good idea for us to explore? And especially so without little Cyrex. Cyrex, this is definitely Robora's voice. There's a silent pause before Iria's voice rings out. But not from Irias himself, just echoing between the walls. With you four by my side, I'm sure things will work out. It's worth the risk. Besides, since we are so concerned, I think it's better to not bring her along this time. Other muffled voices join in, commenting, but they're again muffled and beyond the scope of comprehension. And they slowly start to fade, going from clearly noticeable to hardly a whisper, and then disappearing completely as silence reigns once more.
Well,
You can see Sarah, after hearing the feminine voice, she just starts looking down at the floor, trying to avoid any looking at anyone.
Maybe this is what Darius needs, right? Reliving his
worst
drama.
nightmare. Yeah.
You know, sometimes you gotta face it to, win against it. You know, something like that.
But I don't. This is not my memories. All I know is that forest. I don't know any of this. I don't understand.
Those
So you
boys.
think you would just like? How old do you think you are?
I don't know.
If you like looked at yourself, you're like
16
definitely.
seasons.
Hmm?
16 seasons.
Okay. Is that how you think 16 seasons look like?
That's all I know. 16 seasons.
Yeah, what I'm trying to get at is that you're a lot older than that, obviously.
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah,
I,
unless I'm like a season old or something.
I don't know. I don't know anything.
It's alright. That's alright. I'm just saying it's fine to not remember, but you should realize that there has to be a time before the woods. You weren't just born middle-aged and the ability to shoot lightning through your hands.
If you
Surely
say
you-
so.
There surely has to be this feeling, though, right? You talked about being scared of like wolves and bats. There has to be some sort of memory connected to that. Some feeling. It's different from your actual memory.
He looks very uncomfortable and kind of plays around with one of his foot over the scraping it over the herringbone floor. Yeah, there's a feeling. And that's why it's so frustrating. I feel like I know this. These
We
voices, this.
You actually do.
I get emotions, but I don't remember anything.
will help you remember.
We'll get you there.
Starbucks will turn against him and just sit down on the floor and look at Arius and just. You probably don't remember us. In my case, I also have something like that.
You do? How? What do you do? What do I do? I don't want to feel the things, yet I.
That is something that even together we try to recover for myself. In my case, I managed to just bring a lot actually from my past. But right now we don't have the resources to do that to you.
There is a cure then, but.
There's
I don't.
I'm asking you one thing, and it's please to accompany us, and even if you have that sensation, you can just ask me anything about what you see or hear.
Okay. Alright. The problem is. Stray Joe claimed to know me. I don't know if I want to remember. I don't know who I was, and I don't know if I wanted. Was I. Was I somebody worth being?
Yes, and a lot. You heard the name Elite of Styrax, right?
Yes.
I'm actually Styrax.
Starks. It's like a tickle on the back of my tongue, yet I don't.
And Styrax just holds Iris' hands, and it tingles, and probably the other persons that you heard, and mostly the one that asked for me, was Reroa. Does it ring?
Aurora. He's like thinks hard, like leans his head to the side. He brings up like a hand to his head, like he's having a headache, and then slowly and softly start like hitting himself with his fist. No, still a little, maybe, no.
Do you have any sensation about that name?
Yes, but nothing comes up. It's just a black hole.
Styrax just looks down and gives a little smile and just smiles at him. I know that feeling very well. I've been having them all my life.
How do I deal with this? I can't just... I need to know, and yet I don't want to know.
That's what we call the fear of the truth. But you teach me one important thing, and that knowledge is power. So I know it might be scary to know the truth, and that maybe you don't want to. But we have to face the truth at some point.
Will I feel less helpless if I do?
And Starbucks just like smiles again and turns a little bit her head. Knowing I known you since I was little, and I know for sure that you will know everything, and know your purpose.
Make me persuasion manipulation with advantage.
Persuasion, right?
Yeah, with manipulation and advantage.
Uh, 19.
Yes. Let's see. After your words, Aria stops sweating as profusely in cold sweat, and the candle seems to shine a little bit brighter. And he slowly nods. Okay, I will try my best. I still lead on. I don't know where to go.
All right. And Starbucks, after noticing the lights going brighter, she just gonna even grab even tighter and keep Iris closer to her.
All right.
Is there like any finished maps here in this room?
The maps you look down upon are actually marine maps of the ocean, south, no, northwest of the main island of Khan, where the capital Khan Badar interprotectorate is, to leading up to the port city of Persoy on the island of Domakan, which you now preside. So there seems to be some preparation for a sea journey here.
There's no map of Barovia, so
No, not Barovia, but the sea in between Domakan and Khan.
okay. So I'll take that. You never know.
Sure. As you step up to the other side of this dining room, there's 2 doors in front of you, leading further into the building, and you also walk out of an archway there, Leo, to look back at the grand main hall. The staircase is above your head here.
Do we continue on right side here at the play?
I suppose, yeah.
Right. I'll go to the door.
All right, now.
I guess listening again.
Listening in?
Yeah, because last time it helped somewhat. So
True. Make me perception intelligence.
I shall.
And for guidance, then you go
Thank you.
to average.
20.
Ooh,
Easy.
22.
19 plus 3 is 22.
You do hear the soft sound of like small impacts in rhythm and without rhythm of metal and wood, like scrambling. It kind of reminds you of the sound coming from a kitchen.
I relay that information. Sounds like somewhat silent kitchen noise.
Yeah, like a kitchen with a lot of activity in it.
So
Who
I
was
suppose this is a kitchen.
That would be my guess.
I guess. Bexxy, who was the cook of the group?
The Magnificent Mansion spell comes with how many servants? I think it's like 100 or so servants. But the Kaiser did enjoy overlooking, making sure that everybody got, their vitamins and the fiber, daddying the group a little bit. And Cyril was known from time to time to sneak into the kitchen to steal some snacks.
Okay. Starbucks will actually not rely that information.
Alright. You open the door?
Is the kitchen interesting to us? I guess any
It
memory
could,
might be.
It could be. There were 2 members that usually spend a lot of time there.
Okay. Then open it up.
Alright. There you open the door. And before we know what's behind it, let's go for a parade! Woo!
Wee!
Wait.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
That house 2.0. But we have the source we have.
Hey, my first F out.
Yay! Yes, indeed. Good that you caught on. I hope it feels nostalgic and scary at the same time.
Oh, of course I would call on. Come on, Bexxy. That shit
I'm
that's
just,
scarred me for life.
in this case, I'm just glad I didn't end up playing the paladin in that round. I would have been just so much trouble.
Alright, I'm gonna go refill my drink and get some snack.
Me too. I'll be right back.
Right back, chat. 1 second.
Yep.
Everybody right back.
There I am back! Mubo, again, so glad to see you. And I'm so glad you managed to figure that out with the flooding. Sounds like a nightmare. Jeez, I understand. Like, just dealing with that for some time. The move went really well. It was just a stare down, incidentally. The landlord called me and said, you said you wanted a bigger place, right? The 3-roomer down below is open if you want it. And me and Joey just got ourselves like a new job, like within a week of each other, and so we knew that our economy is going to be better than it ever like been before. So we said yes in a couple of days, and here we are. It's new job, new place, new schedule. It's certainly been a little bit to take in. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm very happy.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hey, nice to hear that you're happy.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
It was, but since I don't work, I'm on disability, I was able to get a lot of it done by myself. Okay, you gotta count your stars, the silver lining. Appreciate it.
Also, Neo, I'm not sure if it's just been a while since I heard you, but are you
Yeah, a little bit closer to the microphone. I have you at 200% now.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Might also be, you just trying to be like talking
being
nicely
direct.
to Arias. No, it's also like the situation, Like if someone has like a difficult moment, you usually are like a little bit softer and more silent to talk when you talk to them, right? Natural behavior, so.
Just a little bit closer to the microphone when you go that soft. And it's all good.
I almost have the mic that's right in my mouth. Almost.
Okay.
Keep in mind, if I get it like a little bit further, you will hear my brother even more.
Oh, all right. I see. Now I know how it is. I live with it. Yeah, so much more room. I lived in a studio apartment, and now I indeed have 3 rooms and a kitchen. It's so good.
Love to see it.
Yeah, it's so good, and no noise disturbances from Yui. Basically, he still disturbs me from time to time, but most of the time, I've exiled him to the office, and I've taken over a corner of the living room. So I have my sofa throne whenever I want to move over and do some prep or watch some movies on the TV.
Is this better?
Oh my god, yes. Oh god, I gotta lower you now.
Well, we'll see.
Okay, time to yell. Let's go!
I'm not trusting it. It's still at 200.
I dropped you down to 120 at least. See what happens. It is amazing movie. It's so good. Like, it's so much space that we are feeling like we don't own anything. I don't own anything. There's like hardly enough stuff in here. It's just open space. But I guess more reason to go to IKEA. You know, doing my Swedish civic duty.
There's always a reason to go to IKEA.
Oh, yes, there is. There is always something you need. Or just look at the pretty rooms and go, I would never be that organized or rich.
More the rich one.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Are we ready to continue for like another hour? Is that okay, Suko?
Yeah.
With the time? Perfect. Okay, let's get back into it then. Let's open a door, shall we?
Yep. By the way, I'm probably still invisible. I don't think we went for an hour yet.
No, but we're like closing in on like
Yeah.
40-minute mark at this point, I think.
That makes sense.
It's just doors magically opening.
Well, we have, as long as the spell is going on me, we have soul with us in feeling.
Soul is in show.
Yep.
There we go. A low and quite narrow hallway with two wooden doors along its eastern wall. On the western side, there is a double glass door heading out into what seems to be an inner courtyard. And further down the line, there you see what's quite unusual is a haphazardly barred door straight ahead to the north. Several plank thick with wavered iron nails to prevent easy access to whatever lies beyond. Here you get a representation of what you see. Further down the line.
Make a few steps in and then look into the courtyard.
You see several statues there in the rain. There seems to be some kind of angelic two statues that definitely look angelic on the sides, flanking a more humanoid figure in a cloak, holding aloft a staff that ends in a glowing orb of light.
And is this weird swirling thing? But just
Oh, there's the rain coming down from above.
wondering if there's more. Okay. Right, seems fine here. There's a bar door and more statues. I assume the kitchen is just further beyond here. It was rather silent when I heard it past the door, so
Now when you open the door again, that sound is completely gone. replaced by just the creaking of the house and the soft pounding of rain. These little arrows that I've added is to help you navigate what is a door and what is not a door. Yeah, on the map layer. Right?
Oh.
There's a bunch of arrows, right? You see?
Oh yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I get it.
They, point towards doors, since it's quite hard sometimes to know where they are.
That is true, yeah.
So
Yes, there's
every
one room that
arrow represents a door.
yeah, one door room that we could look into. I will like open that door here.
Yeah, the 2 double doors right here?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's because we kind of know what's in there, so.
In here, you find a grand dining hall stands before you, a formal one, able to seat dozens of people. It still echoes softly of past conversations, clinking glassware and cheerful laughter. It looks like it has been recently used for some kind of ruckus celebration. The floors are still sticky at places, the white table linen stained with different juices, a few chairs tipped over, and even the remnants of shattered glass remains in a corner. 12 large windows grant a splendid view of the inner courtyard to your south, and a dark garden to the north where a large white marble statue stands in the rain alone.
Reyes, do you want to just take a few steps in here and see if something happens?
Ireas looks up at Cyrex.
And Starax just smiles on again. She takes one step and then offers her hand for him to move.
He swallows audibly and carefully steps in after you, looking around like wide-eyed, wondering what will happen next.
It's gonna be fine.
You say that now. I'm gonna do a hidden check. Out of the ether, once again, voices from the beyond spread through the room. A grand celebration can be heard. Dozens of voices chatting, dozens of hands using cutlery, and dozens of glass impacting each other in cheers. Directly to the north, at that table, you can hear some voices saying, "I've never seen this much food in my life. Master Aria's magic is so freaking awesome!" A young female voice goes, gushing with adoration. "He is amazing, but also impressive. I wish I could grow up half as cool as any of them." A young voice of a male answers, equally adoring. "I know, right? Maybe after all of this is over, we can travel back with them to Convaldar, or maybe they're kind enough to stay here for a while. We can learn from them, Duro. Became gallant heroes just like in the fairy tales." "So, you're so sure of our victory tomorrow?" "Yeah, of course, I can feel it. Change is coming. Sunlight is coming back. Our lives will finally change. The Morning Lord has answered our prayers by sending Master Arias and his group to us." "My, Bildrana, you sound like my father. If the life of a hero doesn't work out for you, maybe you should become the next priest, and I the merchant under yours." "I would never put you through spending so much time with my lousy father, Duro. But don't you worry, things will work out. Mark my words. Tomorrow we take the castle, the devil's lives, and then we claim our future to victory!" The whole table chimes in, echoing what she says in loud cheers. "Master Arias will not let us down," the girl says, and then the voices abate, fade, and disappear.
Cyrus directly looks at Ireos.
The cold sweat is back and he's shaking a little bit, wide-eyed. And he's muttering to himself, no, what? I don't understand what I've done. I know this is bad. I don't know why, but this is so bad.
Well, it was maybe bad, but in the past.
Styrax again
done.
tries to hold Ireos' hand, and if they wouldn't be chanting for victory if they wouldn't trust in someone like you.
He just shakes his head. He's kind of lost of words. But his face has gone like slightly white. He's definitely affected by something, but he doesn't understand really what it is, but it still hurts him.
Sadly, this memory, we could call that for now, is from the time where you already left the Copperbeard to come to Balaki, to Barovia. I don't really recognize any of the voices, but
We know Duro actually.
You do?
Well, let's not talk about that, right?
I knew
He-
it. I knew it. I did something wrong.
no,
Something wrong
you
happened.
didn't.
No.
It's
Quite,
my fault.
quite the opposite. You tried your best, and you did well to these people.
Something wrong happened here. I can feel it in my bones.
Don't let that weaken you. Let that strengthen you. You need to figure this out and conquer it. Alright?
Anything that we did wrong, we can fix it and make good.
At least learn from it. Understand it. Face it.
I don't even know
that is
how.
important. You're doing it right now. Doing great. You're doing great.
He nods at you, but he clearly doesn't believe it.
I mean, there are not many people that can face all these things. So you're doing good.
Okay, I don't know many people. Like, you're the first ones I've spoken to for this long, for 16 seasons. I didn't know people talked this much, really.
Well, it might be me also. I don't know.
He just like to talk. Don't worry.
Okay.
So,
But the one thing is that we can learn from our mistakes. Even if we did bad, we can try again. But giving up is already that we didn't learn from this.
I don't know. Give me a leadership with presence.
can I help with my
Yeah,
talk?
you definitely helped with Sari, so let's do that with advantage.
Never mind, it's not 20.
Ooh! Ooh! Damn, girl! Okay. The after the vision, the lights dimmed, but with your steady presence. Yeah, they seems to shine brighter than they have ever done before. And knowledge is power, knowledge is power. I can do this. I can right my wrongs. I don't know what I did wrong, but maybe, I don't know. Evia starts to mutter to himself.
So, do we try this interesting barred door, or do we check out these antidotes here?
That one, I'm not really sure.
Do you not remember what behind this one?
But again, it's everything changed.
Yeah. The doors seem to be different spots.
Well, if it's barb, then probably there's something important behind it. Or dangerous.
We could just open the other doors or something real quick. I don't
Yeah.
think, from the outside, it didn't seem like the dimension goes that far to the right. I mean, obviously it's magic, so I don't know, but maybe there's not much behind these doors.
You can actually now open them on your own, unless they're locked or secret.
I did it.
Yay! Good job. They're
Good
so
man.
good. The oldest updates. A bedroom is before you. Comparatively austere, but private. A rug underneath the tub keeps the floor from getting wet, and the shelf is filled with various jars and urns for whatever hygienic purposes you might have. Water splashes over the tub's edge.
Just want to make a quick investigation check, see if there's anything interesting.
Sure.
Get the guidance and the help. Yes, I'm gonna.
No.
Yep.
I'm stuck. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they were a little bit interesting.
yeah, I'll
There we
remember
go.
that. What should I do?
Investigation.
Investigation, cunning.
Arius get this focused look when Leo opens the door, and he seems like he's pulled towards the new room. Starks, you start to see a pattern, like he feels compelled or spelled to explore the new rooms with you, but he's still hesitant and scared to do so. But there seems to be some kind of larger feeling that comes upon him, and a drive to go whatever the flow takes him.
Well, since Leo didn't do it with advantage, I'll do one myself, I guess.
Oh, yeah, do one yourself. Yeah, Leo's just blindly moving in, didn't notice you, wanting to help.
Nah, it's all good. A 20. Dirty
Ooh.
20. So dirty.
At these shelves over here, there's a lot, as I said, jars and urns of various things. You open most of them, then they seem stale, kind of smell a little bit bad or completely empty. But you open one of them and you find a tiny marble of blue captured light.
Huh. Found a little thing. Hey, Styrax, have any idea what this is? And show it to Styrax.
Do I recognize it?
No?
No?
What is that? A shiny marble?
I'll test the water.
Styrax shakes her head.
Stepping into the room proper and looking around, Leo, you can see that the water inside of the tub is completely black. So you cannot see what's underneath the surface.
They're like somewhere where the water's coming out.
No, it's not like it's filling. It's there's like a stable level of water, but from time to time it seems to move, and a little bit of this black water gushes over the edge and absorbs into the carpet below.
Can I like have water running? Like, is there some place where I can let the water run?
You want to reach in your hand to open the stop to make it rain? Or do you
No,
want to turn
add,
on
like
the...
more water.
Yeah.
See if the new water is also gonna be black. Just a bit, you know, just like activating a bit, see what's going, and then closing it again.
Yeah. It's not... It has the same color, like this oily shine as a tar-like liquid that came out of the dead, mutated raven. But it's not as viscous as that. It actually do run like water, but it's exactly the same color. I'm going to do a hidden check.
And then the classic Starbucks goes first. No, I didn't get stuck. Let's go.
I'm rolling so badly for areas, but okay. Leo, the water suddenly splashes with a lot of activity, and you take a step back in sudden realization. Appearing out of that oily water is the face of a late teenager to young adult male with somewhat curly hazel brown hair slicked back from his face, features gaunt and bony, and he has pale gray eyes that are filled with fear and agony that immediately locks eyes with Arius. You recognize this as Duro, Father Donovich, vampire's son, that he kept in his cellar. And he sits up with his two bony arms along the ledges of the tub. Just his torso is above the water edge that is still black. A small gash appears at the center of his chest. It widens, lengthens, and turns into the small trickling waterfall of dark red blood that seeps into the water below. I was like a child, Arius. I didn't know any better. The gash opens further, spanning the length of his upper torso now diagonally. Flesh rips, curls back, reveals a beating heart and expanding sacs of lungs. Why did you march us all to our death? As weak, gullible peasants. Tell me, did you use the sacrifice of our lives well? What did you achieve with our deaths? Now the inner organs are cut into, his lungs collapse, his heart cut in twain, creates a sudden explosion of blood from the pressure, raining blood on all of the floors and even some droplets of all of your faces. The young man's face had been calm and collected this whole time, but now twists in panic and pain. I wasn't ready to die. I don't want to die. Someone save me, please. Why did you kill me? From underneath the surface of the water, several black hands shoot out and grabs onto Duro's arms, hair, neck, torso. They drag him down towards the surface of the water as he screams and struggles against it. But within a couple of seconds, he disappears below the surface, unable to fight them. And everything goes silent again. And the water surface of that black, oily liquid remains calm and undisturbed.
Must have been my bad. I accidentally, activated the war again. Might have confused what's going on here. Sorry for that.
Starbucks, after seeing that directly, just look at Rose, worried.
Again. kind of like jumping back and forth.
Here we go again.
It's not as bad as before, but some of that courage you instilled, Sarex, slowly seeping away. But he remains stalwart for now, but he's staring at the water's edge. Actually, he actually runs forward to it, stumbling past you, Leia, like pushing your way, and like rolls up his sleeves and just plunges his hand into the water, like searching for something. No, come back! Where are you going? No, sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Like pretty crazy, panicked.
Cyrus will just get closer and again hand on the shoulder and just like let it go. That is the past.
No, I didn't mean that. How could I? Why would I? I don't want to.
I know you didn't want to. I know you for sure you didn't want to. This is... I don't know what exactly happened, but we have some idea from what we heard.
What? I don't understand what happened here. What did I do? Did I kill this young man?
You didn't kill anyone. Quite the opposite. You tried to protect them.
Then why does he accuse me so?
It's your guilt, I think. Not everything always goes the way as planned. And these visions seems to be part of your guilt, your traumatic memories, and maybe this young man was part of that. I don't think he ever said the things that he said. Seems like a weird thing to happen while getting losing your lungs and stuff, and not really possible. So
These lands are cursed. I think for so far you know that. And
These lands? Are there any other lands?
there are more lands, and let me tell you, the one that you and I live is quite a nice land.
I can't even imagine it.
You
You say that I try to protect him, but why does he hate me so, if that is the case?
He probably doesn't hate you.
Are you sure? I am as good as you believe me to be.
Staros will actually pull her notebook on the first pages of it, which actually has the letters, the handwriting of him, his handwriting. Since I was little, you gave me this, mostly to make me research all my past and what am I exactly. And you protected me all this time.
He looks down onto his dirty, oil-stained hands in disbelief. Someone like how could I?
You probably right now don't really know, but you were the one that actually rescued me from a horrible end. And even after knowing what I could happen to me, you still took me as your apprentice and teach me everything I know.
He looks up to you, shocked. Like, he cannot believe that he did that. Make me a persuasion with manipulation.
Dirty 20.
Damn. Okay. Another hidden roll to see what effects there is. A little bit in that tenseness of his shoulders roll back, but he still looks back on the oily surface with a knitted brow and some lingering worry.
We always look at our mistakes, and when facing the consequences, we think it's mostly our fault. For example, in a war, usually the generals get the fault of the fallen. But it's not that. They failed without the skills to be able to survive.
If we survive this place, you must tell me what happened to this young man. I cannot have this on my... We need to do something.
I know, and for that, mostly we need you.
Okay. I think I'm ready to carry on.
And I promise that after we exit here, I'll lend you all my notebook so you can read everything.
Start to organize the bookshelf. Finally. Maybe I can remember some of the titles.
I'm sure together we'll remember all the titles.
Crime to have disarray.
And again, when Cyrax stands up, she offers again her hand.
Oh, he still takes it. Leaning on you. Alright, Leo, you're staring at those bars.
Yeah, I think I've been like, as the conversation goes on, realizing, checking like out this bar door. Is like the handle reachable, or is it like completely blocked off? And does it seem like something that can be pried open, or?
It's very hard to reach the handle, and when you do, you realize the door opens outwards.
Okay.
Alright. Can I just, I don't know, just rip the...
Yeah, I mean, there's pretty crooked and rusted nails here, so maybe make me a brawn check. Pure brawn.
I use some leverage with my rapier, trying to get between the boards.
Do you want to do that with your rapier? That bends rather than breaks?
Yeah, well, I can use like...
I can use it. I can use my
Maybe
shield.
some of the handle? Yeah, okay. Do it together then. Then give advantage to one of you.
Go ahead. Yeah, I guess I use my dagger maybe then, actually. Magic dagger, nothing can happen to that.
And
18.
Ooh,
20. 20 is what you needed. It's still a bit of a slow process. You know, ripping one out and then the other, and you had to wiggle a little bit, you know. It takes the better part of 5 minutes, and you work out like a healthy sweat. But in the end, the door is accessible.
I'll open it up.
Okay. And why does it do that one? Should have fixed that. Sorry for the loud notes. Let us see what's in here, shall we? You reveal a pretty dismal bedroom beyond this once barred up door. There's beyond even more wooden planks barring the windows, and there's a lot of dust dancing in the air. There's an austere bed in the corner, a cabinet, a wardrobe, a desk with some pieces of paper lying on it. The mansion so far has been pretty worn down, but this room is in another category of decay. And with it, there's a clear, ominous feeling radiating from this space. Things are strange and bad, but it seems to be especially so here within, an oppressing aura that makes you even halt on the threshold, wondering if it's worth it to head inside. But you do know that you need to find answers, and with a breath you step in to explore. What do you want to do?
I think I'll be like, Arias, maybe you wait for a moment outside. We just investigate, see what info we get, and then decide if you should step in or not.
That focused gaze on Arias as he looks over your shoulder is back, but he slowly nods to you in agreement.
And then I'll try to, I'll go for the papers on the desk, for sure.
Do I recognize the room?
It's interesting, because you don't, but you instantly realize what this kind of is. In the normal magnificent mansion, there was a private locked room that you and the other members of the party was never allowed to enter, but for Joseph and Arias. And you have no idea what was inside. And so you're a little bit disappointed to see that it's just a bedroom. And then curious. For who?
Yeah, I'll check the notes on the desk.
There's a pile of parchment here with text written on it by 2 different handwriting styles, and no matter how hard you try to squint or try to focus on the text, it remains blurred to you, as if you're in dire need of some very thick glasses to make the text sharp and readable for you. But for the uppermost piece of paper, that text is as clear as day for you. Head into the handouts underneath MN, and then it should be visible for you now. Note in bar room.
Yep. Hello, Squira. Today we reached well over a year of the both of us writing to you. We have no doubt that you've gotten to read every single of our letters, which has been brought to us a lot of peace. We've recently come back from an expedition to Domokan, experiencing unspoken horrors from this madhouse. In there, we found 2 children who we made a promise to. We promised to set them free and allow them to move on from the horrors they have experienced. They were lingering ghosts, seemingly experiencing the torment of the death every day. The good news is that it ended happily, and we helped them move on, or so we hope. As we finally made it back home, it has given us time to reflect and think upon what happened. Squira, we worry that in a twisted way, we're doing the same to you, not letting you pass on, probably not letting you go to where you have to be. As we built this room for you, we had hoped that it would help us recover from our loss and help strengthen the bond we have to you. We realize now that those were all excuses for ourselves to recover from this loss. This will be our last letter we'll leave for you. We want you to experience peace, and as long as we chain our memories of you down to this place, we truly don't believe that neither you nor us can experience that peace. We will always be 3 birds with the same feather. Love you always. Joseph Saw and Iris Stormlight.
In confusion, Arius looks down upon the tattoo on his left hand, which shows that of a raven backlit by a ball of vicious crackling lightning. And he looks down on it with confusion.
And I guess I don't know, I'll help Daphne investigating the room for more stuff. If there's anything in the drawers or the wardrobe or under the bed. If there's anything else we can find.
In the doors, actually this just doesn't have any doors. It's just the papers kind of like in this haphazard pile on the top. But it is that wardrobe and the white cabinet over there, and as well as the bed.
Yeah,
we just do a two-hour investigation, I suppose.
Yeah. Opening up things, starting maybe with the wardrobe, going over to the drawers, and
Sure.
then looking at the bed.
Within the shabby exterior of this quite large wardrobe, you find rows upon rows of clothing fit for a young teenage girl. They're all of a cut and material that would make them quite expensive, and they're all of a strange black metallic color, a black hue that when observed in the light it iridescently shifts into hues of blue, purple and green. You would imagine that they would be threadbare or perhaps moth-eaten considering the state of the rest of this room, but they're all pristine, untouched and unmarred. Lying in a heap on the floor of the wardrobe underneath these rows of expensive clothing is another set, and a different set of clothing. A single attire of traveling clothing, all muddied, dirtied, ragged, and bloodstained. A pair of leather boots stand beside them too, muddy, with wayward strands of fresh grass mixed into the grime.
Starbucks looks at, just goes to Ireos outside and just, are you okay?
No, this place, I don't know, I feel like this place meant a lot to me, but I don't understand why or how. 3 feathers?
I think I might have an idea.
You do? I don't
know exactly what, but I know from you telling sometimes, and also Joseph, that there was a moment when you had another friend together with Joseph, and that when coming back from the forest, they didn't return, and you mainly didn't want to talk about it to me, I know. I'm
What
guessing
happened to them?
in that I really don't know. I even remember that you told me, you didn't tell me, I heard that something that you just were waiting for them and they didn't return. And I'm guessing this room was intended for them.
Why are these memories full of people that doesn't seem to exist anymore?
I assume because it is your guild that is currently taking control over this mansion. And if I were to have the personification of my guild, it probably would be first time I experience that sadness and trauma. So I wouldn't be surprised if we encounter Square a bit more than just here. So be ready.
But not all memories were of people dying. Remember the first two we have? With Scree and then with Roar. Those weren't people dying.
Where are they now? If they were important in my life, I mean, you're here, but where is this Aurora? Where is she?
That we will find out together once this is over. I know the people you travel with, and I know for sure that they will not die easily.
Okay, alright.
I'll open up the doors, see if there's anything there.
As you walk past the bed, Leo, Daphne not far behind, you hear a sound you didn't think you would hear, at least not here. It goes, rabbit.
I guess I'll look under the bed earlier, or the bed in general.
And there is a lonely green frog sitting in the shadows underneath the bed.
Mutated or normal?
Seemingly normal.
Hey there, buddy.
Rabbit.
Can anyone talk with frogs, maybe?
Rabbit.
Magic people?
No.
Frog? That's strange. And Arius takes a step into the room.
I guess I'll quickly get some like dried food and throw it over to the frog.
I mean, it's far underneath the bed.
Yeah, I'll just like roll it under and like just so there's something I can get to if he wants to.
Oh. Well, let's do the check. Oh. As you reach down for it, it opens its mouth wide. Instead of frog noises, the sound of a little girl's comes instead, exclaiming excitedly, "It's a fox memo! Oh my god! It's a fox memo! I told you about them, Eric, Joseph! Come look! Try it out! Try it out with me! I told you that they existed! This is so cool! I'm so lucky. I told you. I told you. I told you. And then a deliriously and incandescently happy laughter only a child can produce spreads through the room. Then the frog closes his mouth and remains silent, and not understanding why, Iria smiles a sad but happy smile.
The frog doesn't seem to react to the food at all or anything.
He looks down upon it, kinda unfurls his tongue to smack into the floor beside it, and then rolls it back in, and then looks over to you. Rabbit.
Do you think I can move the bed?
Oh yeah, it's easy.
Right. Try to not lose sight of the frog as I move the bed a bit so we can maybe get closer to the frog.
Staros, while they move the bed, Staros will just like get to Arios and just actually give him a hug.
What's that for?
I can only imagine that this is what I mostly heard from you as a lot of the times. I'm just glad to see you smile.
Believe it or not, it happens sometimes. I don't understand why, but that happy sound, it struck a chord in me. I'm still sad, but how could you not have your spirits lifted by that laughter?
Let's say that I mostly spend time reading books and mostly with you.
Oh, alright.
So, kinda like, didn't have most of a childhood per se.
That's... I'm not entirely sure what a childhood is supposed to be, but... Was that okay?
Looking at it back now, I think was the best time.
That's good. That's good. At least it seems I did something right.
Something? You can ask these people what we actually went through, and that most of the things I learned from you.
Now I'm feeling a little bit bashful.
And Starbucks just smiles and even giggles a little bit.
Well, there it goes. Leo, as you move the bed, Iria says that to a reaction of like how the frog starts jumping away.
I try to animal handle get the frog.
Sure. Make me an animal handling with dexterity.
See. Yes. Oh, yes. I shall do that. Roll. Hmm.
11. You do catch it once, but it's so slimy that it jumps out of your grip. You didn't really catch it properly, and more like mostly one of the legs, and it jumps, and it jumps past you into the corridor.
Someone, maybe we should get the frog.
Ribbit.
Does it like just runs off, or does it chill in the corridor?
As you look into the corridor, it is jumping off at mighty speed.
Damn it. I feel like it would have been nice to have a good voice with us, but I guess not.
Why did you scare it away?
Yeah. Sure. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm sure we might find it again.
And I guess I'll finish up opening the drawers and see if there's anything in there.
Yeah, for the cabinet, the various drawers are all empty, but there is one point of interest. Resting on top of it is a single small silver hair clip in the shape of a feather.
I'll pick it up and put it into Iree's hands.
Yeah. He looks down on it, but a little bit wide-eyed, and then like with a trembling hand, he brings up his other hand and kind of traces the outline of it. Who are you to me, and where are you now? Why do I feel these things?
I'll keep this hair clip close and let it remind you of the good memory you saw here. Alright? Maybe later it's gonna have more meaning than that, but for now, that'll do.
I shall try my best. Again, thank you for braving this with me.
It's fine. I'll figure this out.
Okay, where are we heading next?
Well, we do have one more door on this hallway that we didn't open, I guess. And then I guess it's left side, right side might have been no luck. And maybe we even have to go upstairs, I don't know.
Finally, you find it. The kitchen. Well stocked, containing a large oven and enough cooking utensils to feed an army. It's quite tidy, organized, with aprons neatly racked, plates stacked to perfection, cutlery begging to be used. There's a steep wooden staircase heading downwards towards a metal door towards the east. The only thing out of place is a folded piece of parchment resting on the kitchen aisle.
Yeah, we'll do that. Look at it, and I'll like say to Arius, I'm not sure if you really need to go in here, but there's probably going to be some sort of memory from the feast we saw earlier, I assume. Maybe not. And I'll start reading the letter.
Yeah. Head into handouts. MN kitchen note.
Cyril. I understand that you think everything pops out of thin air in this place because it's not real, but our supply of cured meats are very much real and very much limited. If I hear from another servant that you have been snooping about this kitchen, digging for a personal stash for delectable meats, I will take it all, put it in a barrel, seal it tight, and dig a hole to throw it in so you can never find it again. And stop pestering the servants about replicating that pie you had. It's clearly moot. On behalf of all of us, but particularly me, Caethor.
As soon as you finish it, you can just see Starbucks actually smiling.
A lot of personality in one note.
Of course he would leave a note for him.
Maybe there's a good memory here. Let's hope.
Let's hope so. And again, Saros looks at Darius and
Irius
still with this smile.
carefully steps in, like very much wide-eyed looking around.
You can just see Starak like still holding his hand.
Heartbeat. 1, 2, 3, hammering in his head. And then nothing happens.
Oh,
That's
seems
better.
like. Well, to be fair, if you wanna share a memory, the most I can tell you from the kitchen is mostly two of your companions, one deciding what we should be eating just to be. God damn it.
It reminds me so much of Yowie, it's crazy. Sorry, just with the Hispanic accent.
And pretty much two of your companions, one trying to get the food for himself and running away with it, and the other just making sure we just mostly eat so rigorously and having all our stuff so we can just be strong. And
Wait,
mostly it's that.
They sound like colorful figures.
They are. They can be serious at times, but for the most part, it was very nice being around them.
I will take your word for it. But again, I just can't help to wonder where are they?
That is something that you and I will see through. See what happened to them.
Oh, that was definitely not Aria's voice.
What a phone it was all of a sudden.
Okay. Alright. Further we go. So I guess I keep calm.
You are doing great.
That's arguable, but okay. Leo,
We'll check
going
if
on
the-
and
the metal door down here is that is openable or not.
yes, it definitely opens, and you see more staircase heading further down, and there is another door at the end of that down there.
Do we want to go down? Do you think that's the good idea here?
What is it down there?
I mean, it's just a staircase going further down. That I can see right now. I mean, if things were logically connected, then it might not be that useful to go down there, but obviously we can't count on that.
Maybe it wouldn't be bad to check, just in case.
Am I right?
Not certain where to go. You decide.
I mean, it would be annoying to go back to the right side just to go further down, right? So let's finish this up, I guess. Now I'll go further down to the next door. I guess I'll
Okay.
listen in at that door.
Oh, make me under the perception intelligence.
Great. Good old 2. Natural 1.
Ooh. Well, this place is starting to get to you a little bit of nerves, for sure. And you're not entirely sure what you hear other than just maybe some dripping sound at most of water. All right, but down we go. To help you find where we are, there we go. It may be dusty and forlorn, but the shelves here are bursting with delectable bounty that grants this room a somewhat welcoming feeling. There's food stuff all around.
Well, it seems to be logically connected. Guess I'll pick up something that looks tasty.
Yeah, well, there's that basket that has fallen to its side full of different kinds of apples, from golden to ruby red to crisp green.
Yeah, we'll just pick up a ruby red apple and just look at it. Does it seem like old?
No, fresh. It glistens a little bit.
Strange, not old food is here. If anyone's hungry.
No thanks. Reminds me of the Martikov mansion.
Well, I raise.
Daphne, Leo, as you walk into the room proper, like looks around, there's this big stone archway leading into the next room, and there's a bright orange light shining from within at a certain point.
Okay. Bright shining lights. Well, let's get a race in here and see if something happens.
And once again, Starbucks offers her hand for Arios to enter. It's at this point it's as usual.
Again, he swallows loudly, takes a few ginger steps into the area, and nothing seems to happen immediately.
Okay. You magic people know what this light might be?
Like, do I recognize this, or is this like a place that I didn't even visit? I think this is a place that I wouldn't get too much into the kitchen.
No, I mean, having, some kind of food cellar sounds like a good thing to have in a, Museum Nightmare mansion. But, I mean, the invisible servants will probably use the space more so than you ever did.
The tech magic is not up anymore, right?
Is it 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes, yeah.
Then it's gone.
It's gone.
Leo, racks and racks of bottled wine, as well as towering stacks of mighty barrels can be found here. The tangy scents of wine, ale, and spirits simmer like perfume in the air. Notably, one of the giant casks have been forcefully broken into through a number of pretty precise slashes. A somewhat dried pool of dark wine liquid at the feet of this barrel. The culprit is probably the woodcutting axe left hanging, hewed into the wood on the cask's side. The second point of interest is the remains of a feast on top of a thick and once colorful carpet. Strewn about is empty to half-empty bottles, and on top of a thick wooden cutting board on that carpet is the leftovers of dried fruits, nuts, marmalade, bread, and meats. And among them, there's a small figurine of a carved fox in the vague, a bit of a vague shape of a fox, and it radiates that bright orange light.
Well, Soul's definitely gonna be angry for missing out here, I guess. Serves him right.
I guess what's his choice?
This is different. This is new. What is that? Irias takes a step in, and I'm gonna make a hidden check.
Sarah's again just still holding her hand. You can imagine like, "Oy." She just
Suddenly, flying through the air is a spectral orange hand axe that flies through the air at incredible speeds and strangely at Iria's head. But in the last second, he manages to dodge out of the way. But the hand axe bounces off the wall behind him with an audible clang before it disperses in a cloud of orange smoke. If it had hit him, he probably would have taken some damage. Stumbling into view behind that wine rack in front of you is a tall, muscular half-elf with dreadlocks and a half-empty bottle in his hand. Mumbling to himself, clearly slurred, he says, "This place is amazing. The best spell yet from Iri. Alcohol for days and so much delicious meat. If Kiki thinks that a buried battle would stop me, he is mistaken. I wonder if Roa is still up." He stumbles behind a corner and everything goes silent again.
Was that someone of the troop, Starix?
That was clearly Cyril. And acting like he normally does.
Well, remember when I said the one that keeps stealing fruit from the kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
Yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
Now it makes sense that he spends here. At this point, I think he and Soul will get very along.
Yeah. Should I just take the statue here that's growing brightly, or? I mean, clearly it's magical, right?
Sarah says like, kind of like, yeah, I heard, but she just keeps focusing on Ireos to see how he's reacting to stuff.
He's a little bit confused as to just what happened, but he's pleasantly surprised rather than stressed out.
I'll just pick it up. I'll just pick the fox statue up.
All right. It's mostly smooth to touch. It still has some rough edges, and it is pretty tiny actually. But after holding it for a second, that bright orange light emerges out from the figurine. It kind of lifts up and flowing slightly upwards to kind of hover right in front of your face, Leo. And then with a zoom of speed, it disappears through the wall right here, heading this direction.
Okay. Not sure if that's good or bad news. I guess just in case I investigate the wall and see if there's any, like...
Sure, give me an investigation cunning.
18.
18. Smooth, hard, wide. There's nothing of interest. It can pass through walls, but you seemingly can't.
Go around this bend here and see deeper in.
Mm-hmm. Here is the cask that has definitely bled some of its content. Ooh, and your invisibility at this point wears off.
Yeah. Well, soul is gone now. And hey, Reyes, nice to meet you.
He jumps a little bit. Well, you
It's
look
a voice.
strangely
That was
normal.
the other voice.
I imagined all kind of horrible things, but this is good. This is good. This is normal.
Yeah. Pretty normal, totally.
Leo, down there in the corner, you see the beginning of a staircase heading up, and as well as another door heading towards the west.
Okay, a door and staircase up. Okay. Definitely listening into the door again.
Sure, give me a perception intelligence.
And maybe failing again.
We shall see.
Ooh, 16.
16.
That's pretty good.
It's no, very quiet on the other side.
What do we see?
Making
Oh,
your way into this room proved a little bit difficult there. It felt like this door leading into whatever space is beyond hasn't been opening quite in a while.
Okay.
A little bit heavy in the hinges.
I'll let everyone know that. This seems a little bit less used. Difficult to use than the others.
And Sarah will just like get closer to have a small a peek through like the door and just see the room.
Yeah, peeking in and Leo making his way in, there seems to be a storage room here. There's all sorts of provisions, furniture, clutter, and knickknacks.
Yes. Maybe quick investigation or perception check.
Sure. Investigation would mean that you spend like a couple of
Yeah, that's
minutes like
perception.
going through the room. And perception intelligence will like you're not actively interacting with the room, but then your
11.
findings will be limited. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of furniture, some cutlery. Definitely, all right. You're taking a more deeper look with the investigation, like running through stuff. I'm going to roll a hidden check.
Dun-dun.
Good.
It is a couple of boring minutes spent in this room, like going through lampshades, like old stuffed chairs, carpets that are not being used, cutlery, vases, and other clutter and knickknacks that is just gathering dust, and you don't really understand like what this room is used for, really. But Daphne, as you walk past one of these colorful red carpets, it suddenly unfurls itself, and you woven into the fabric, there seems to be a message written on it that you catch the meaning of before it's too late. It says, "I'm guilty." Then the rug tries to smother you. And with that, we're going to end. Tonight's episode of Percival the
Yay.
Torment.
Ah!
Perfectly when my invisibility wore out. Into an encounter.